COVID-19 has completely flipped all of our lives upside down, but how has it impacted a sustainable lifestyle? This video is in collaboration with Emma over at The Simple Environmentalist, so here's what she will be talking about over on her channel.
Hello everyone, it's Emma from The Simple Environmentalist. My channel is all about practical sustainability, making free, easy, and fun ways to live low waste. And in today's video, I'm going to be focusing on non-aesthetic things in my zero waste life to prove that you don't have to have an aesthetically pleasing, minimal, zero waste life. You can still buy plastic, you can still use things that are practical and not necessarily pretty. I hope that you enjoyed this video and it inspires you to start living zero waste, even if you don't fit the aesthetic mold of zero waste.
So make sure to head on over to her channel after you watch this. I'll have the links down below in the description, but let's get into this. So I have been getting my food delivered pretty much exclusively during this pandemic. And like today, sometimes you ask for paper bags and they come in plastic. Like a lot of the food I'm getting right now has plastic packaging around it. Of course, I'm still trying to prioritize getting aluminum cans, getting paper, getting glass. And the bulk section at the grocery store I would go to before the pandemic is closed right now. Like everything is just wrapped in a big plastic bag. So regardless, I wouldn't be able to get a lot of the dry goods that I did package free in my own little produce bags or anything like that. And of course, you have to do what's best for you during this time, whether it be getting food delivered or going to the grocery store on your own. We are in unprecedented times, but that is something to note. I have been consuming a lot more plastic packaging with the food that I've been getting. I haven't sat down at a restaurant since before the pandemic, so I am still getting takeout. I'm trying to still support small local restaurants to keep them afloat. I got a banh mi pulled pork sandwich. It's vegan and they use tofu and jackfruit. It is so good. It is the best. And then I also got curry. I usually save this for the next day. Might as well get another meal out of it. So this curry is so good. So good. I love it. It's good stuff. I'm not going super often, but I am still trying to support them when I can as well. When I do get takeout, they do come in single-use containers. Sometimes they're plastic, sometimes they're compostable. It just kind of depends on where I go. But if they do come in plastic, I do try to reuse those containers because there are some great plastic containers that I've gotten from restaurants that I've used multiple times. So that's something to keep in mind too. A lot of waste comes from that, and I think that's okay right now. I haven't really been using my reusables at all during this pandemic. I mean, I've used them a few times here and there just at home, but I'm not going out, so I'm not using like my straws and my cutlery. And you still can't use your reusable bags in some grocery stores. Of course, it varies from city to city and state to state. And everyone has different laws and rules right now of what is going on during the pandemic. It's not a big deal. It's a few cups here and there that you're getting, plastic cups, and hopefully we'll be able to use our reusables soon enough. So I haven't even been using my car at all during the pandemic. Like I've been using it a few times, but I exaggerated a little bit here. I do use it at least once a week to keep the car going. You know, I've been staying home the majority of the time. I'm saving money on gas, and I'm just saving gas in general because I'm not using it. Like I'm not driving. So that's a huge plus during this pandemic. The next area of my life that has changed is cleaning. So when I was cleaning, I was using like eco and zero waste cleaning products, and I think of them as being pretty much like soap and water. They're not like Clorox, they're not bleach, they're not products that are meant to kill viruses. So what's going to work that I can use that I think is gonna be a better option than just buying like Clorox or some bleach, right? That's gonna kill the virus. I already had hydrogen peroxide and I have some rubbing alcohol, and both of those are approved on the CDC website to kill the coronavirus. Sometimes after I'll clean with my normal multi-purpose sprays on my countertops and on my doorknobs and stuff like that, I will use alcohol or hydrogen peroxide just to wipe over it and hope that it kills all of those germs. So that's something I wouldn't normally do, but obviously these are unprecedented times and it does the job right now. So let's talk about soap. Obviously right now I've been going through a lot more soap just because whenever I'm touching something from outside of my home, I'm trying to wash my hands. I do that, you know, surgical hand wash. I do a very thorough 30-second hand wash. And of course, just because we are still in a pandemic, I am trying to wash my hands quite frequently, and I'm going through soap a lot quicker than I ever did before. So I'm trying to buy zero-waste soaps while also being economical at the same time. So it's trying to find that balance within it all. So the next thing I've been using a lot of is hand sanitizer. This is the By Humankind hand sanitizer. I love this stuff. It's actually kind of moisturizing. It's not as drying as a lot of the other hand sanitizers I've tried out there. This is their refill size, so it's a big bottle, an aluminum bottle with the hand sanitizer, and then they have little bottles with a little pump. But before the pandemic, I would barely use hand sanitizer. Like, I just knew I would always come home and wash my hands, so I didn't worry about it as much. Whenever I'm outside and I touch something and I don't have access to soap and water, I use this. I do the same type of like surgical hand washing method with the hand sanitizer, and then I come home and obviously wash my hands, but I'm going through a lot more of this. So this refill has been really nice. And if you have your own plastic bottle of hand sanitizer, you can just refill it with an aluminum bottle, and aluminum is infinitely recyclable. From the pandemic and now seeing like these winter storms in Texas and in many different states in the US, it just makes you realize that you need to be prepared for these things. Seeing how people hoarded food items at the beginning of this pandemic, and there was no toilet paper to be found in grocery stores, like, it just makes me realize I do want to have things on hand. I want to always have some sort of canned goods and bulk items like oats and flour and all of that jazz. And I was thinking about water. For any sort of emergency situation, like if there was an earthquake here, I would want to have some sort of water in case I don't have access to my tap and water is not flowing through the pipes. You just don't know what is going to happen in emergency situations. I know this might be controversial, but I do want to buy bottled water. It's not plastic bottled water. I do want to buy water in like aluminum bottles or aluminum cans, which they do make. Obviously, I am pro using a reusable water all the time, but I think it's good to have bottles just in case of some sort of emergency situation. According to the CDC website, bottled water is the safest for emergencies, but you can also store your own water. You just have to switch it out every 6 months. Number 9 is it is more difficult now to have a sustainable lifestyle than it was prior. And keep in mind, living a sustainable lifestyle is difficult to begin with. It's not an easy thing. It takes planning, it takes time and learning. It's not the most convenient thing to do. So when you are adding on an emergency situation like a global pandemic, it makes it a lot more difficult to do. It's always about progress over perfection, and I've definitely realized I'm creating more plastic trash right now, and I'm consuming more plastic right now than I have been, just because we still are in a pandemic and I still need food and I gotta do what I gotta do. Obviously, I'm trying to choose better options, but there's only so much you can do right now. People are already getting vaccinated, which is super exciting. So I'm just hoping, you know, life will restore. Finally, we won't have to, you know, worry about all this. Make sure to check out Emma's video after this about her non-aesthetic things in her zero waste life. And just remember, you do not have to be perfect to live sustainably. I hope this was a good reminder that it is about progress over perfection. So we'll have more videos on the screen about sustainable living and sustainable product reviews, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!